Hello subscribers, hello viewers. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am so glad you are here. If you are looking for more information on cryptic pregnancy, phantom pregnancy, or any and all kind of pregnancy experience, I would suggest that you consider joining my group. It is a public Facebook group, but I do suggest that you should that you join if you want to comment. It's called Uncensored Truth About Cryptic Pregnancy and Phantom Pregnancy Education Support. If you just put Uncensored Truth About Cryptic Pregnancy, it should pop right up in Facebook search. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. I want to discuss something that the Gilmour Foundation posted, I believe, let me take a look here. It was in May. Oh, sorry, April. It was posted in April. And I just want to kind of correct some misinformation that they so diligently want to present as truth. And this information is not truth. It's just pure make-believe. It's just made up information based upon absolutely no research. It's not based upon any kind of actual data. It's not based on any kind of clinical... There's absolutely nothing in history or medical science or at all there's nothing that supports the possibility of being pregnant for years upon years upon years with the same exact baby, the same exact pregnancy. It's just not physiologically possible. So I myself just want to go ahead and go through some of the things that they said they were kind of correcting. They posted it as common cryptic pregnancy myths. And this is posted in the group Cryptic Pregnancy Consultant Support Group and the Gilmour Foundation. I'm sure after this I will be blocked. So I'm already blocked from the main account, the Cryptic Pregnancy Support Group and Gilmour Foundation. I've been blocked from that for like years. But I have not been blocked from the consultant support group, and that might change after this video, which really sucks because then I don't have access to the delusional thoughts that they're putting out as fact, and then I'm not able to correct them in videos like this and give you correct information that basically they feel is bullying because it goes against what they believe. I'm saying that a pregnancy of years is not possible, and they are angered by this because they want women to believe that they have been pregnant for years, and they themselves believe they have been pregnant for years. These specific experts. And you know, there's a few that are public, like Elaine C., Suzanne Ferguson, Suzanne Huntley, she's actually the creator of the Cryptic Pregnancy Support Group and Gilmour Foundation website. All of these women, you know, they come up with all of these theories and these things. So hopefully I won't get blocked from this, and I'll still have access to this information after I put out this video. Yes. Hold on. In this post, they say, number 1, myth. And I'm going to put it here so you can read it yourself. The myth is that the slow development of a cryptic fetus is caused by intrauterine growth restriction, which is IUGR. The IUGR misconception is believed to be due to the retroverted tilted uterus leaving little space in the mother's abdomen for fetal growth. If you look down, it says the correct data, according to the Cryptic Pregnancy Consultant Support Group and the Gilmour Foundation, they say the correct data is that the slow development of a cryptic fetus is due to the lack of HCG in the mother's body to properly support the fetal development within a standard 40-week gestation period. This is complete, utter false information. It's literally just made up, fabricated information. There is nothing that is actual. There's nothing that has any type of medical or scientific backing to it. In fact, there are lots of women who get pregnant with little to no HCG, have an entire pregnancy with little to no HCG, deliver a baby with little to no HCG, and their pregnancy only lasted 40 to 42 weeks. Having HCG or having no HCG in your system does not extend the gestation period of your pregnancy. It has no effect on it whatsoever. Again, let me repeat. Having HCG or having no HCG in your pregnancy has no effect on how the baby grows and develops, because there are a lot of women that I know currently who are currently pregnant and just received pregnancy confirmation because they have little to no HCG in their system. So they're testing negative on urine and blood. They receive an ultrasound and boom, there's a baby. So yeah, having HCG or having no HCG in your system has no effect on the way the baby in the mother's womb grows. Okay, so number 3, myth. Abdominal or ectopic pregnancy is common during a cryptic pregnancy, and why a cryptic fetus often cannot be seen with ultrasound. This misconception can be very frightening. The correct data, according to the Cryptic Pregnancy Consultants Support Group and the Gilmour Foundation, wow, that's a mouthful. According to them, the correct data is the ultrasounds that are negative during a cryptic pregnancy are due to the mother's uterus being retroverted, tilted, or under behind her bowels. Ultrasound signals cannot see through her bowels due to there being density. The pregnancy is not abdominal or ectopic. The fetus is in the uterus, but the uterus is in a position that cannot be seen with ultrasound signal. The uterus is retroverted, tilted, and not incarcerated. This is, again, complete BS. There's no other way of saying it. I'm going to be upfront and real. This is completely fabricated information. An ultrasound being negative has nothing to do with a person or a woman's uterus being retroverted or tilted. My uterus is tilted and my babies were found with absolutely no problem. There are lots of women in this world who have retroverted or tilted uteruses, and their babies are seen with absolutely no problem. If you are not seeing a baby in an ultrasound and you think that you are over 16 weeks pregnant, 20 weeks pregnant, 25, 30 weeks pregnant, if you are not seeing a baby on ultrasound and you are thinking that you're like 20 to 25, 30 weeks pregnant, it's because you're not pregnant. There's no baby in there. It's not because your uterus is making it impossible for the baby to be seen. The baby will be seen. It's a big baby. There's no way of missing that big of a baby in a human body. We're talking about a human body. We're not talking about missing a baby in an ocean. We're talking about there's only so much. And even if you're a bigger person, even if you're a bigger woman, there's only so many places you can look for this baby. And if it's not there, it's not there. It's not because you have some kind of special anatomy and somehow your special anatomy is making it impossible for that doctor to see that special baby. That's not how it works. Your myth is busted. You just made up information and try to claim it as fact, and I'm tired of it, and I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of you, whoever is responsible for posting this information on this Facebook group. I'm sick of you trying to manipulate women who are looking for answers. I'm sick of you telling women that they are experiencing the same thing you are. It's not okay. You can believe you're pregnant all you want, but once you start making up lies and then spreading those lies as fact and actually gaining a following, you are now responsible for abusing, manipulating, and extorting groups of women. Number 4, myth. When the cryptic mother has negative ultrasounds due to a retroverted tilted uterus, the following diagnostic procedures, MRI, CT scan, and X-ray, will locate the fetus and confirm the pregnancy. Correct data, according to the Cryptic Pregnancy Consultants Support Group and the Gilmour Foundation, is that from our 6 years of case study, there's been no case study. We have determined that MRI, CT scan, and X-ray do not show the fetus and do not lead to the confirmation of pregnancy. The cause for this is similar to what occurs with the ultrasounds of cryptic pregnancy with a retroverted tilted uterus. This is make-believe. How could an MRI or CT scan or an X-ray not be able to see the skeleton of another growing, living thing inside of a person? Alive or not, if it's dead, alive, if it's growing slowly or not, if there's HCG or not, if there's a skeleton, if there's an actual living thing inside of the mother's uterus growing inside of there, it has to have a skull, it has to have a heartbeat, it has to have a skeleton. These things would be seen with an MRI, an X-ray, or a CT scan, and it is completely ludicrous to claim that this special cryptic baby would not be able to be seen by these diagnostic tools. These diagnostic tools exist for a reason, because they can see anything in the body. That's the entire point. And for you to say anything else is completely stupid. It's stupid. The person who posted this is stupid. I cannot believe that you would even say that an X-ray, a CT scan, or an MRI would not tell a woman if she is or is not pregnant. Are you completely out of your mind? It makes absolutely no sense. Like, you are lacking common sense, and it's kind of concerning. Like, so number 5, myth. Hormone panels, DNA tests, CBC tests, MRI, CT scans, X-rays, SED rate test, FATE positive urine test, fetal Doppler sounds, and proof of fetal, I think that's proof, of fetal movement will medically confirm the pregnancy. The correct data, according to the Cryptic Pregnancy Consultant Support Group in the Gilmour Foundation, is our studies have brought to light that the only way a cryptic mother with a retroverted tilted uterus will receive medical confirmation of the pregnancy is for the pregnancy to change to normal and produce a positive HCG blood serum test. When the mother does not have a uterine abnormality that blocks the ultrasound signal and a cryptic baby is found. So basically what they're saying is, once you actually become pregnant and you start to test positive, like a regular normal pregnancy, from that time you'll deliver in probably 40 weeks. Give or take a few weeks. So they're openly admitting that the only way you're going to get a positive or get a pregnancy confirmation is when you actually get pregnant, because prior to that you're not pregnant. This person knows this. They just want to word it in a way that makes it sound as if somehow this pregnancy turned normal and now it's now producing HCG when it wasn't prior to this. What changed? Who knows, right? And then it says, when the mother does not have a uterine abnormality that blocks the ultrasound signal. There is no uterine abnormality in the world that could block ultrasound signal. Like, it's impossible for you to have such a retroverted or such a tilted uterus that it actually blocks ultrasound signal. 7, myth. Cryptic pregnancy is caused by emotional stress, poor diet, vitamin deficiency, and or a stressful lifestyle. The correct data, according to the Gilmour Foundation, I'm just going to cut that in half because it's too much to say. The Gilmour Foundation says that cryptic pregnancy is caused by a hormone imbalance in the mother at the time of conception. The cause is not related to diet, vitamin deficiency, stress level, or lifestyle. This is made up, completely false information. Cryptic pregnancy is caused by a hormone imbalance. Most of the time you have a hormone imbalance, you have a miscarriage. Most of the time you have a hormone imbalance, you don't get pregnant. Or at some point in time during the pregnancy, something happens and the pregnancy is no longer supported. To state that cryptic pregnancy literally is caused by something that terminates pregnancy it's so contradictory. It's just complete contradictory information. And to state that that's how cryptic pregnancy even comes about it's based off of just opinion. It's based off of make-believe, because there is no case study. There's nobody in the world who has studied a woman who's been pregnant for years. It just hasn't happened. Briefly wanted to touch on this. I'm going to put the post here. Talks about how this woman, Cristal, experienced a cryptic pregnancy which turned normal. So I just wanted to briefly touch on this and talk about how this kind of behavior, these kind of posts, are so toxic, dangerous, unprofessional, to blatantly tell somebody else what's happening to their body and then announce it on social media that that is what happened to somebody else when they are blatantly claiming the opposite. It just shows you the instability and the unhealthy mental I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, to tell somebody that they experienced a cryptic pregnancy and that their baby is in fact a cryptic baby and that they were pregnant for 3 years and 7 months when they delivered, to tell somebody that they were pregnant for 3 years and 7 months and they just refuse to acknowledge it. The psychosis that has to go behind thinking that it's okay to tell somebody what's happening to their body, that's what I have a problem with. And I've said this so many times. You can believe you are pregnant. You can think, I'm pregnant, I'm going to have a baby, whatever. That's fine. You can think whatever you want about your body. It's when you start telling other women that what's happening to you is happening to them, that's what I start to have a problem with, because it's based on feelings and emotions, on something that is already super, super, super sensitive. Pregnancy is a very sensitive issue, and especially when you have women who are dealing with infertility or maybe dealing with loss of a child or loss of a baby. And so pregnancy itself is a very sensitive issue. And so when you tell somebody who's wondering if they could be pregnant that they are pregnant, it's like, that's the last thing that person needs. That person needs to stay open-minded. That person needs to stay investigative. That person needs to ask questions and continue to look into what is happening to them, their symptoms, and stop comparing themselves to others. And that's what these online communities encourage and support. The whole comparing thing and the whole, well, my symptoms are so close to that woman that I read on that cryptic pregnancy group. My symptoms are so close, maybe one or two symptoms different, but we're so close that what's happening to her must be happening to me. That kind of thinking, that kind of delusion, that kind of enabled thought pattern that these groups encourage and welcome is what I have a problem with. Because if you're just wondering if you're pregnant, that's fine. Lots of women wonder if they're pregnant, and it's healthy to wonder if you're pregnant. If you are sexually active, you better be wondering if you're pregnant, because, I mean, it can happen. So it's healthy to wonder, to think. But it's a whole nother issue when there's a community of women who not only enable this dangerous thought pattern, but starts to fabricate proof that these pregnancies of years are actually happening to them. And they bring forth pictures of babies that they say are in these ultrasound images. And they're obviously not pictures of babies. These are pictures of babies. I mean, it's super obvious. There is no doubt that those are 1, 2, 3 babies. Firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn. I myself have a tilted uterus, and all 3 of my babies were photographed with no problem. And I went in at 6, 7, 8 weeks pregnant. And all 3 of them were found, located, pictured. I have little tiny, where they're like tiny, tiny little babies. To tell somebody who is vulnerable that because we are so similar in our experiences, we have to be experiencing the same thing. That's where the psychosis and the delusion come in. And when you have an entire group of women, 10 or more, supporting you with these delusional thoughts and thinking that you could be pregnant, is this unsupported, unverified, no evidence type talk where they come up with all of these, you know, they say, oh, this is the myth that's going around in the community and this is the correct data. Well, that's not data. That's also made up, that's also a myth too. You just said, oh, this is a myth corrected by another myth. You didn't correct anything because you haven't actually studied anything. There is no women who are pregnant for years. That's why you haven't studied any women who are pregnant for years. So the Gilmour Foundation is what I have a problem with, because they put out what they have, their website openly ready, available for any person who looks up, I think I'm pregnant with negative test. Am I pregnant? Can I be pregnant with negative test? Anytime you start looking up any type of that, Cryptic pregnancy is going to pop up, and then the Gilmour Foundation is going to pop up. And all it takes is for somebody to just be a little bit confused, just trying to get a hold, just trying to figure out what's happening to them. And they're reading this information, and you start to read it, and you're like, oh my gosh, could this be happening to me? Oh my gosh, could this be happening to me? And it becomes very scary. And that fear is what really, that fear that it is actually happening to you, and that no doctor is going to believe you, and that none of your family members are going to believe you. Nobody's going to see the baby. You're never going to be able to prove it. And you're not going to be able to have your baby in the hospital, and you're going to have your baby at home. All of these things, all of these fear-inducing things is what makes the Gilmour Foundation and what the Gilmour Foundation promotes. The information and the education that the Gilmour Foundation gives on their website, that's what makes it a cult. And I've said this so many times. Cryptic pregnancy of years is a cult. It's a toxic cult. And the groups on Facebook make it worse, because if it was just the website, that would be one thing. But there's, I don't know how many toxic cult cryptic pregnancy groups on Facebook now. One of mine is one of the only ones who's actually offering real, informative, truthful, fact-based, scientific, medically based information. So I hope somebody got some helpful, useful information out of this video. I hope it clarified some maybe misinformation that you've received from this Gilmour Foundation and or about cryptic pregnancy in general. I hope that you avoid a lot of those cryptic pregnancy groups because they offer nothing but false information and nothing of value. There's nothing of value in any of the groups, because it's all just a bunch of women talking about their symptoms. I mean, there's no like actual evidence that will ever come forward about a pregnancy of years, because a pregnancy of years doesn't exist. So like I said, I hope you got something good out of this. I hope you are feeling well. I hope you are happy. I hope you're healthy. If you don't mind, please give me a like on this video. Shoot me a comment if you disagree or agree with what I said in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed. Bye. Say hi. Can you say hi? Do you just want to see you in the camera? Say hi. Can you say hi? Say hi. Don't be shy.
Please
Subscribe to join our tribe.